The Ice Storm, given by the Whispering Ice unique staff, got a damage effectiveness buff from 60% up to 100%, which will affect the base damage added per 10 intelligence. Base cold damage added per 10 intelligence. So that does make scaling a little bit easier, might make the damage of it pretty nice. It's not going to change the the fact that it's limited to 3 storms. It's not going to be super great for clear, but its damage will be higher. That is a buff. It may not be enough, but it is a buff. And on top of that, what was it? Queen's Demand from Aziri's rule staff? The Storms and Flames of Judgment? They got a damage effectiveness buff and base damage buff. Pretty significant one at that. 200% for the Flames and solid, probably like 25% base damage increase. That's pretty solid. This got a solid buff. It's gonna be even better for Ignite. Could be even better for hit based. But you know what didn't get a buff? Saqawal's Twisters. Not buffed at all. Come on, like no, it's still at 100% damage effectiveness. It's not going up to maybe 120, 150. Not even the slightest. It's still kind of tough to get going since it has all the uniques required for it. But speaking of uniques, we did get an indirect buff. That indirect buff is in the form of Time Clasp. Well, Time Twist. You require this in the build to get the minus 10% skill effect duration and get the storms out faster. Now, Time Twist can no longer be required. You don't need to prophesize it. It can just drop with this effect now. So it should be easier to obtain. Much higher availability, much higher drop rate. So this build might be a little bit cheaper to run because this is one of the more expensive uniques for the build. I guess you can call that a buff, a little bit cheaper, maybe. So it depends on if the faded items changing to the base item, did that affect the drop rate at all? If it did not, I think it's a buff. If it did affect it, we'll have to see. And on top of that, we do have the Forbidden Flame, Forbidden Flesh jewel, the unique jewel combination that allows us to get ascendancy from a different ascendancy on the same base class. And let me just find where it is. Poison Pathfinder. So this is the Saqawal's Tornado Poison Pathfinder build that I had up a while ago. Probably one of my most popular videos actually. And this is sort of an updated tree, but not for 3.17, this is updated for 3.16. When the passive tree for 3.17 is released, I'll go ahead and update that into the description to this video. But I just want to point out that, because we're doing Pathfinder, we've got Perma Flasks, we've got Poison Proliferation. What we can also get using Forbidden Flame, Forbidden Flesh is we can either get Permaphasing, we can get Tailwind, we can get 2 additional projectiles for Saqawal's Twisters. Now for stacking poison, each hit is so important. This can actually increase a single target by a considerable amount. The Tailwind is going to make us move faster, but it's not going to affect how fast our storms move or how fast it hits. Phasing is gonna be great for quality of life, but if you think about it, we're actually already using Withering Step, so we're getting phasing essentially. We don't need that per se. If we could get Endless Munitions, it's not attack skills, any skill will fire 2 additional projectiles. That means our base Twister, which drops 1 plus GMP. GP gives how many? 4, so we're at 5 projectiles. We'll be at 7 projectiles. That's 7 projectiles, all poison. That can be pretty darn good. So yeah, I'll update the PoB when the next tree is updated and released, and I'll go ahead and put that in the description to this. So if you guys want to like I don't know, put in the comments what other items that give skills would have, could have, should have been buffed had GGG had the time, you know. And yeah, we can have a decent conversation about that. Thank you. Have a great day.